everyone, welcome back to another episode. I am Donna. This is my husband, Brian. A few months ago, we decided to do a podcast about men's mental health awareness. We decided to do this because it is something we're passionate about, mainly because Brian suffers from depression, anxiety, and panic disorder. We started this by going through his story. We started talking about what he goes through on a daily basis. We started from his childhood to present day. We've touched base on a lot of different things, what he can do, can't do, how he does it, how he doesn't do it. These are all just our opinions, no medical advice, just to give an open forum so people can talk. So to try to break the stigma. Again, it's strictly a place for people to feel comfortable to have an open dialogue. This is not geared towards children, a lot of adult content. Again, if you want your child to watch this, we suggest that you be with the child. His language sometimes can get colorful. If you're easily offended, this probably isn't the channel for you. If you're not, please feel free to follow. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. Or if you don't want to comment in the open forum, you can always email us. With that being said, today's episode, we're going to talk about some changes. This is a time where a lot of stuff has changed. We're coming at the end of summer, beginning of fall. Kids are starting to go back to school. So schedules are starting to change. So people that suffer from any type of mental illness, anxiety, depression, people that are anxious, change can be a really harsh thing for them. Brian, for example, hates change.
Except my underwear, I change that.
On occasion. He's the type of person that if you say, and this is going to sound crazy, if you say we're going to do this, like he's like tunnel visioned. Now he can change the plans because of something, and this is going to sound horrible, and I don't mean it to. I'm not saying he's the type of person where it has to be his way. That's not what I mean by any means. If he's changing it, it's because something's going on with him. He doesn't feel up to it. He can't do it. But if I say we're going to do this, and then I just say, no, let's do this. No, he's already set to do this one thing. And that takes a lot for him. And that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not real flexible. Literally or figuratively.
So change can be a really scary thing for somebody who is already anxious.
But I would say the change that I was thinking of is more along the lines of life is this way, whatever that may be, and now it's not.
Right.
Like those drastic changes, they're the ones that fuck me up the most. The changing the plans is, that goes back to other things. If you watched any of the previous 60 episodes or whatever that are up. But more along the lines of like changing work schedules or sleep schedules. Like, I'll be honest with you, something that'll be coming up in a couple months, which is, the fall daylight savings time or whatever. Mm-hmm. That shit twice a year, I wish they would fucking stop. Like, just pick one and just leave it that way. I don't care which one it is. That screws me up for weeks.
The last one didn't really mess with you as bad, though, as it normally has in the past.
Probably because I didn't have much of a schedule. Like,
right.
The past, 8 months or so haven't been all that great as far as schedule and sleeping, all that stuff. So it's kind of been... It wasn't like I had to get up at this time to be here and here.
Right.
It didn't matter. So if I fell asleep at 2 a.m. or 2 p.m, it didn't matter. But yeah, I mean, the changing of plans is not that big of a deal.
It's the routines that change.
Yeah, stuff like that.
So, I mean, think of it this way. As adults, we tend to think people should be more flexible with, okay, my schedule's changed, no big deal. It is to some people, and I think we need to be more open-minded to like kids going away to college. That is a big change to them. And I call them kids, and they're not. They're young adults.
They're kids.
No, not. I mean, they're young adults, so I understand they're kids, but
Their brains haven't developed yet.
I get that, but
And they prove it. Just watching shit from people doing dumb shit in college.
they're going away, and sometimes this is the first time these kids have left home. And so they're leaving home. Now, let's add fuel to the fire. These kids are nervous enough to leave. Now,
What'd you say about fire?
let's throw fuel to the fire.
Oh.
Now, mom or dad suffers from some type of anxiety or panic disorder. Their routine is now changed. Their child is no longer home.
I'm the wrong person probably for this part of the conversation because I don't know if my kids be watching, but like, so
That was probably because that took some responsibility off of you.
just less people around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Didn't matter who it was, as long as somebody went and just.
So I'm thinking that me being the type of person I am, and I guess it's the caretaker role in me. It's
Well, if your son was to go away for 4 years, would that cause you? Now, you don't have a panic disorder, anxiety disorder, depression, any of that you're aware of. So I don't, as a normal person, would that bother you? Other than the normal.
I think what would bother me more would be if he is somewhere and something is happening where he's at and I can't get to him.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about
No.
like he's packing up his stuff, moving to, I don't know, California and going to UCLA for 4 years.
Well, first of all, that would never happen. But yes, I see what you're saying.
Hypothetical.
I would, no, it would just me getting him there. And would I take him there, get him there, make sure he's settled? I think my biggest thing would be, and again, this is the mama bear in me. If something happened, how quick could I get there?
I mean, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
Now, I already know the answer to this question because I know you, but you're not one of those moms that's going to be bawling their eyes out because their kid's going to college or it's their first day of kindergarten or whatever. That's not you,
No,
correct?
No, the first day of kindergarten, it's a law. They have to go. I don't understand parents that cry.
Or you can homeschool them.
And
Just saying.
and ruin their social skills? No, thank you. I'm sorry if you homeschool your kids. I'm not bashing you. That is your choice. I wouldn't bawl. Again, you have to cut the cords. You have to let them live. I think parents that have anxiety issues where the kids are going off to school, especially in today's society, I feel sorry for the parents that have anxiety issues that are sending their kids off to school. I think I do not have. I get anxious at times. I'm not going to lie. I don't have anxiety problems, but I feel sorry for parents that are sending their kids off to school. I do. I feel sorry for them, especially nowadays.
You feel sorry that you're sending them off to school?
If you have anxiety problems,
College or regular school?
college, not regular school, college. With everything going on, yeah, I feel sorry for the parents that have anxiety problems.
What's everything that's going on?
Just society, the
The shithead protest on campus?
no, the shootings, the stuff like that, not the protests.
There's more protests than shootings.
But it's the
How many college shootings have there been? 2?
No, there's been more than two. There's been more than two. I mean, there was just one
That shit.
last week, but I mean,
you're talking not even a 1% chance of that
yeah,
happening.
but I mean, it's that. But if you have an anxiety, if you're already anxious, and I guess it would be the school that you're sending them
and
to.
I guess everybody's different, and it depends on what you're constantly watching on the news or social media. Because if that's all you follow, then that's all you're going to worry about. I couldn't fucking care less about that shit. Like, that wouldn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would depend.
It never has, and it never will.
Yeah, I guess it would depend.
And I'm not saying it can't happen, but the probability of that happening is so far out of the realm of possibility that I don't even pay any attention to it.
I guess my whole thing would be, and this is going to sound horrible. Sorry if your kid goes to Virginia Tech, but it's happened there more than any other school.
I only know of one.
No, there's been 3 at Virginia Tech.
Well, there's only one that was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I hate to go into this, but the term mass shooting.
No,
there
not
was
mass
literally
shooting.
only-
I'm just saying shootings, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, but you could have that anywhere.
Yeah.
You could have that at your job. You could have it walking down the street.
That's
You're
what I'm
more likely to have your kid overdose
and
at a
that
college than
and that was the next thing I was going to say. You know,
anything else.
and it's just being a parent now, and the changes that you're going through with your kids going to school, and yours. Keep in mind the kids going away to school. Your routine now changes. You know, it's funny. You know, your routine's the same. You get up, and it's weird because my mom didn't do this with me in school. Like, I got myself up for school. My mom didn't get me up for school. But a lot of parents, you know, they get up and then they get their kids up. You do this whole routine. When your kid goes away to college, that routine's different now. You know, and so not just for the kids' routine being different, but the parents' routine's different. And getting out of that routine can be very...
Yeah, again, you're kind of talking to the wrong person when it comes to that because, like, I couldn't wait for them to go.
I just...
And it wasn't anything personal. It was just like, I want my space. I want my peace and quiet.
Yeah,
like, I'm just not one of them. I know there's parents out there that I think it's more moms, and I hate to say it like that. I'm not saying it's a woman thing, but it's a woman thing.
Yeah,
I don't know too many dads that were all that upset that their sons or daughters were going away. Like,
I'm not saying upset. I'm just saying that routine that you know.
I can sit around in the living room in my underwear and drink beer.
And I can't imagine somebody who suffers from anxiety or that anxiousness, and then
my anxiety would come from, and I actually did do this the first. I don't know if I did it all 4 years. So my oldest went, and her first year was in a dorm, and then her and 3 other friends got an apartment. And I had to sign the lease.
he didn't care about the one in school. It was the money part.
No, I was afraid that they were going to fuck the room up.
That's what I'm saying.
And and I'm going to get sued and drug 5 hours away to a court in, central Pennsylvania. I mean, nothing ever happened, but that's, that or signing the student loan stuff. Like,
the Parent Plus loans.
Like,
yeah.
That shit would cause me anxiety, not them going away.
Or getting everything together prior to them leaving. Like, do they have anything? Are they going to need anything? Is everything covered? Like, and I didn't have to go through this because my son didn't go away to school, but...
Well, my oldest did. I mean, 4.5, 5 hours away. But, I mean, it's still packing up your stuff and moving into someplace for the year.
Right.
But with my panic disorder and everything, I didn't, I never went out there. I've never seen the campus. I'll be honest with you. So she was 10. Yeah, there was some, I don't know if she came home I don't think she came home except for Christmas. I don't think she came home like fall break or spring break because I think she might have went to like Outer Banks for spring break or something. I don't know. But by then, my ex-wife and I were separated, living in separate situations. So I don't remember her. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she came back around Christmas. But I think she just stayed up there. I think there might have been one summer that she might have stayed up there for some reason.
Maybe she took summer classes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I just.
That's my memory. I don't.
Yeah, it's getting like the stuff together and
that's the thing. Like, I don't remember any of that. But again, she was living somewhere else.
right.
She had already moved out. We had talked about this. She had already moved out her senior year of high school.
Yeah, it's just, and like I said, the change, and it's not just with the kids going away to school. It's, the seasons change. It starts to get a little darker earlier. It's
Get rid of the fucking sun and the heat. I cannot wait. Can't come soon enough. Won't be until the end of October, but
it's a lot of things start to change, and that changes people's mental being, and it changes their attitude, it changes their behavior, it changes their mood.
And I'm probably the opposite of everybody else, or most people. For me, the fall is like, that's where I get my energy. And,
Yeah, I mean,
it's like the darkness and the cold and the gray gives me the energy. And then once, like, April hits and we start getting heat, and it's like, ugh.
It's weird because I remember when I was in school, like high school and everything, the fall, I used to love like what we would call like the hoodie weather. It was just like you go outside and you like feel that crisp air. It's just like, it was crazy because every October I would get sick, but it was just that.
Yeah, I'll take October, November, December, January, February, March. You can have all the other freaking months.
Yeah, it was just that weather would just be like, to me, it was like, and everyone's like, well, everything dies. I get everything dies, but to me, that's like the beginning. Like, it's the beginning of like the holiday season. It's where everything starts to, I don't know, to me, just.
You're not sweating just walking around the corner.
To me, it was just like everything was, to me, perfect. But a lot of people have a hard time with it. It's.
Not everybody is all big up around the holidays either. And I can understand where people who love the sun and being out in that warm weather, and they love that, to go into the cold and dreary. So I can understand that's the same as me going into the heat and the sun. For me, it just ruins everything. Like riding the motorcycle or just going out and walking in a park. I don't want to do that when it's 90 fucking degrees and humid. And in 10 minutes, I'm sweating in every little crack of my body. And I think you know exactly what I'm talking about.
So I guess.
Swamp ass.
If you can pick activities in each of the seasons that you would like to do, like in the fall, what's one of the favorite things you like to do in the fall?
You mean besides celebrating your birthday for an entire month?
Well, that is law. So yes, besides that.
Just in the fall? Probably going around looking at the Halloween decorations.
Okay.
That'd be one of them. I mean, we've already started buying all kinds of fall stuff and making 2 different of our own fall craft things or whatever. We've already just started discussing Christmas. So yeah, I would say going around looking at all the people that do set up like major displays and stuff.
All right. What about winter?
Christmas.
Duh. Spring.
I mean, good weather for riding the bike.
Summer.
Nothing.
You have to pick something.
Not a fucking thing.
You have to pick something.
There's nothing to like about summer. I'm literally the opposite of everybody else. I'm out all through October, November, December, January, February, March. The heat and hot weather come in, I want no part of it.
Okay.
It's just, and this year has been, I think, has been a lot more humid than past years.
It has.
And it's just made for, like, we've pretty much, I mean, couldn't tell you the last time we were out on a bike. Probably been a month.
Yeah. I think it's when you tried killing us when we went down to the park. Because it was so hot.
I think it's been more than, I think it's been, did we go out after the 4th at all?
No.
Because I know we were going to take the bike out on the 4th, but
It was too hot.
it was 94 fucking degrees and humid.
Yeah. All right. So then let's go. And then we're going to do it a little something different. What's one thing in the fall that you...
Well, okay. You said since I have to pick 4th of July and the fireworks.
Okay. What's one thing that you dislike in the fall?
I dislike?
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of anything. I mean, something might pop up, but
What about the winter?
something I don't like. Ice. I mean, I love snow, but I can't stand ice. We seem to get more of that shit than anything else.
What about spring?
Pollen and that shit, and here comes the sinuses and allergies.
And then summer's going to be the heat.
Yeah, and it's weird because, with my situation with the blood disorder, I shouldn't feel the heat the way I do, and my air conditioner is on 63 all the time.
Right.
And it's still not cold enough in there for me.
Right. Okay.
But then your house, we're sitting in the living room and I'm throwing a blanket on my legs because it's...
And you notice I have a blanket on right now.
Yeah, because it's starting to get too cold. And I'm like, I wish this was my room when I'm going to sleep.
Right. So if you could give, again, your opinion on how to help adapt to change. And this is going to be interesting because he has a very hard time adapting to change.
Yeah. I don't know if I got an answer for this one.
What would your advice be?
I mean, if you have the option of knowing it's coming and you already know you have a problem with it, try to make it a slower or a lessen that curve. Like, get prepared early for it instead of it just smash that time. Now, there's emergencies and shit that pop up. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
But when you know, like, your kid's going away to school in 2 months, well, you can start to prepare for that. You don't have to wait until the day after they're gone to figure out what the hell you're going to do. Like, if that was, I mean, if you're one of those parents that just was constantly following your kid around the house or FaceTiming them every 5 minutes, and now you don't know what to do because they're off having a good time and hopefully learning something. I would just say give yourself more time and try and gradually work into it. Again, sometimes life doesn't give you that option.
So more or less be proactive instead of reactive, if possible.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of thinking about myself, and sometimes I don't want to know that it's coming. I deal with it better when I just get smacked in the face with it because I don't have time to think about it. Or I just don't deal with it at all. Yeah, again, I don't know that I'm the best person for that advice because I'm horrible with that. Because we can go back to when we first reconnected and started going out. You had been getting worked up for cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So you were out on short-term disability for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you went through the oral chemo and all that stuff, but we were able to, and I was Ubering and stuff, but I could go out whenever we were done. So there was times where, okay, I'm not going to go out tonight. I'll just go out and, the next, and we'd be out till like 4 or 5 in the morning. And then after that year, you started working in a family practice as an MA, and that all just changed overnight. So, so I had to adjust, and that took me a while to adjust to that because I got used to that freedom, and even now, you had the surgery on your knee. It's been a few months, and then, you're going to be going back to work. And I've gotten used to the past few months of 2, 3 in the morning. The days all just blur into each other and there isn't a weekend or whatever. So, and that'll be another adjustment. Nothing that I'm going to like skits out about, but it still will be, for me, it'll be a bigger deal than it would be for most people.
Right.
But I also knew right from the beginning that that's how this was going to be. It wasn't like this just crept up and we had no idea what the timeline was going to be. We kind of had an idea. It actually should have been sooner already. It's just you've had some setbacks. So as much as I enjoy, we've been watching all kinds of different movies and documentaries and TV shows and stuff like that, and catching up on all that stuff. I'd much rather you just had been healthy and working than, but, the other side of me is like, get to spend a lot more time and we don't have to worry about got to be in bed by this time because you got to get up at this time. And
Right. I mean, I've enjoyed it. You're right. I would have rather the outcome been a little better. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm nowhere near where I should be. But
that's par for the course.
yeah, it's funny because
if it had healed really fast, then I would have been worried.
Yeah, I
I'd
mean,
been like, wait, something's going to go majorly wrong.
Yeah, and he's saying one thing and we're both like, But anyway, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. And adjusting is tough. And
well, let me ask you, as a normal person, you're not part of this club. You're one of those people. You people. Does the daylight savings time and that stuff bother you? Does that mess up your sleep at all?
No, it's weird. I always, when people go, oh my God, I just can't adjust. I'm like, this is going to sound horrible. I don't understand when you guys say you have a hard time adjusting because, and this is why I kind of have a hard time understanding it, because aren't there nights where you can work on 5 hours of sleep and other nights where you can work on 3 hours of sleep? I can. Some people can't.
Not me.
And you've seen it where you'll be like, you want to do something in the morning? I'm like, yeah, just give me like 2 hours of sleep and I'll be fine. And you're like, what? That doesn't bother me. So no, the daylight savings time doesn't bother me at all.
And normally it throws me off for like a couple of weeks. And it's 1 hour. So it's like, okay, so it's 8 o'clock in the morning, it's actually 9. Okay, so it's 7. So I just go to sleep now. But for some reason, that just twice a year, it's like, just got my sleep schedule going. That's going to fuck it up for a couple of weeks.
So when I used to DJ in the bars and we would fall back when it would be 2 o'clock and we'd go back to 1 o'clock, we would stay open the extra hour.
Yeah, everybody always did that.
So no, it never It never bothered me.
2 o'clock. Nope. 1 a.m. Drink an extra hour.
Yeah, so no, that doesn't bother me. But I think it's important that we recognize that people do not always handle change well. Not everyone handles it the same way. And I think we need to understand that just because we do doesn't mean they do. So just because I can handle change a certain way doesn't mean that I should expect him to be able to handle change the same way. Not everybody has the resistance the same way. Not everyone can handle things the same way. And I think we should be understanding to that. We might not understand why they can't, but I think we should be understanding that we don't need to understand why they can't, but we should be understanding that they can't. Does that make sense?
And it's not even so much like I was like that way before. I was like that when I was little. I just did not handle, those kinds of swings and changes very well, even when I was younger. So it wasn't just a panic disorder. It's just me, or I've just had it my whole life, and it never really reared its head until '93. But yeah, that was something that I never was not a fan of at all. Even though we lived in 4 different houses by the time I was 11.
I mean, but did any of them ever feel like your home?
No. Well, I'll say the second one. That would be the one that from what I can remember, which isn't very much. And I've been in this one since '81, minus 16 years of 3 other places. We moved there in '81. I moved out in '92, moved back in 2009.
And you've never really felt like at home anywhere?
Or '93, not '92. The one house we lived in, they had bought it. My parents bought it brand new. It was just built. They bought it, so we were the first people to live in it, and had my own room. Brother had his own room, and we had, not a finished basement, but it was, it was nice. I mean, you could have finished it, I guess. Good sized yard in the side and the back, and nice living room, dining room, all that. 1.5 baths, the whole thing. I had the creek next door. For anybody who doesn't know what a creek is, that's a creek. It's just how we pronounce it. That we'd build rafts out of just tires and wood, and like Tom Sawyer or Huck Finn go out in the middle of it. Usually get stuck on something. That, I would say, is where I can look back and go, if I had any, like, really positive or, fun shit that I can remember, minus putting a hole in my leg falling on a fence, it would have been that 4 years. And we were there from the time I was 5 till I was 9.
And that's
almost 10.
That's the only house you've ever felt like home.
Yeah, I don't really remember the first apartment. Maybe I was about 4. We moved into that one when I was 5 until just about 10. So we were there 5 years, I guess. I don't really remember the first one. I remember it from pictures, but I don't really remember. I know I fell out of bed and slammed on the floor and hit my head a bunch of times and shit like that. Again, more of that's kind of... I remember the piano factory burning down. Not that that's a fond memory, but... and then the third one was an apartment, and we were only there for 11 months when this house became available. So like that was like a blink and we're over there. But it's just not, I don't know. And even to this day, it's my house, but it's just somewhere to take a shit, shower, and sleep. The three S's. I'd say shave, but I'd be lying.
Ain't that the truth?
But thankfully, usually Donna here gets on me a lot about shaving. That's the only thing that she ever gets on me about, ever. But she's kind of not said anything for the past couple of weeks because of some health shit that's been going on. So I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Next, probably the next video or so, you'll see this clean shaven, or as clean as it gets. Yeah, you would think the amount of places that I've lived. I mean, there's some people live in the, same house their entire life. They go away to college, come back, and, it's still their parents' house. But, I mean, we're talking 4 and then 3 when I was on my own and then back to that one. So, I mean, that's 8 moves right there. Well, actually, in '95, I moved back to that house for 3 months, and then we moved to another apartment, and back to that house. So, I mean, you would think I'd be used to that, and it's still, when you moved from the house to here, it was that, like, I think it was more stressful for me than it was you or your dad or anybody.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, because I had never moved that much shit. I'd never moved an entire house. Plus, when we got here, the people that were already supposed to be gone and they weren't.
Oh.
So there was almost a fight out front over that shit. And, just the weeks or month, whatever it was leading up to it, and getting everything, and again, coming into another place that's not ours. And it's weird because, yes, I own, well, the bank owns it. It's in my name, the house.
Right.
But it doesn't feel like it's mine. Even if I paid it off, it wouldn't feel like it's mine. I would just still feel like I live there, but it's not home.
I get what you're saying.
It's just, am I comfortable there? Yeah. Do I like it? No. I've never liked that house. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the street. I don't know. It's fucking old. But, yeah, I'm just not one of those people that, I'd have been better off if you had a house, or, my parents had a house and you lived in that house, and, that would have suited me better. Like, you had one house and that's all you knew. Than the constant, like I said, you're 11 years old and this is your 4th house. That's a lot. It's not even, that doesn't even average out to 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, I was in the one house until I was 19, 20, 19, I guess we moved. But to me, that was always home.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why they moved, but to me, that was always home.
And you were in that house from the time you were born till you were an adult.
Right.
So.
But I can see.
And when you moved out, it was to be on your own.
Well, yeah, but they sold it because of, I mean.
Oh, they sold it that early.
Yeah, they sold it that early because, I mean.
I thought you were living over. Down the road here.
They sold it because, I mean, put yourself in my mom's shoes. She lost her brother, her mother,
No,
her father. Yeah.
I knew that, but I didn't know it was that soon. Mm-hmm. Like I thought you had moved out. Oh, you weren't married yet.
So, but anyway, the take from this one was
I suck at change.
remember that not everyone adapts to change as well as others. So keep that in mind if you see somebody who's struggling with change. Just because you can handle it a certain way doesn't mean everyone does. So be patient with people. And just because somebody doesn't adapt well doesn't mean that they are any less of a person or weaker person than you are. Be patient and be kind. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to comment or you can email us. Until the next one, have a great night, guys.